Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel. So in today's video we are going to be talking about this topic that's stirring up some big reactions across the Latino community. So as we all know, Trump had significant support from Hispanic voters in the last election. I'm talking about the 4-5 days ago elections. Okay, so this has surprised a lot of people, especially given some of his policies on immigration and plans to increase deportations. And this is a big deal because that support has really helped to push Trump to victory. Okay, and in this video we are going to talk about this. We're going to get deeper into this. We'll hear from a group of Latinos who rallied behind Kamala Harris, and they have some strong thoughts on the Latinos for Trump movement. Many of them feel disappointed and even frustrated by what they see as a conflicting choice that could impact their own communities. Check out these clips. I'll be right back so that we can talk more about this. Make sure you leave your own thoughts in the comment section down below. Watch this.
Latinos for Trump, it is time to embrace the consequences of your actions. I've always been a firm believer of fighting fire with fire. If somebody goes low, I'll go lower. Now, with that being said, I know for a fact that most Latinos for Trump have undocumented family members, whether that be their parents, siblings, aunts, uncles, etc. So if you know of a Latino who voted for Trump, I urge you to call this number and report said family members. It's time that these Latinos for Trump get a taste of their own medicine and a taste of poetic justice. Now, I know what you may be thinking, Angel, this is extreme, and I agree. But extreme problems call for extreme solutions. And unfortunately, many innocent people are going to be affected by this, but you can't be that innocent if you raised a Latino for Trump. And before all of the Latinos for Trump come at me all angry, this is what you wanted. This is what you voted for. You should be happy. Let me see that smile. But there you have it, guys. Once again, there is that number. You know what to do. It's time that these Latinos for Trump learn the hard way. But anyways, let me know what you guys think.
And when you're sitting next to me on the bus getting deported because you chose to vote for the orange Cheeto, I want you to know that in the club, we are not all family.
As a Latino, I've never been more embarrassed and more disappointed in the Latin community for even voting or thinking of voting for Trump. Voting against your own self-interest is counterproductive. It's insane to me. Like, y'all don't make no sense. What's not clicking? And let's be very serious. Latinos voted for Trump because they want to be as close to whiteness as possible. It's because they are anti-black. It's because of the internalized race. It's because of the not even internalized. It's for the outward racism. That's really mainly what it was. And let's not forget the misogyny of it all. Let's not forget that, because one thing a Latina woman is gonna do is gonna put her man, her son, any male figure in the Latin community up on a pedestal with ease. And that's exactly what the Latino men thrive on. The women always putting them up on a pedestal. And that's really the sad part about it, because there is no reason why they should have been voting for Trump at all. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed today, and I'm just so disappointed.
White man, white woman, and Latino man handed Trump the presidency. So Latino men that voted for Trump, we gotta talk. If that man goes through with the promises that he's made, like mass deportations, like denaturalization, aggressive border policies, attacks on reproductive rights that could affect your mothers, sisters, and daughters, then I hope that you stand on business to support your family and the community that you claim, in the same way that you stood on business to support this man. That's it. That's my commentary. Y'all keep saying that familia is a core value for you, so stand on it and show up.
No, because I want you to hear me when I say with my full chest, if you voted for Donald Trump, I want you out of my life. Because at a base level, I don't care for friends. I don't care for family, because if I'm going into a future where interracial marriage is even up for debate, I don't want you at my wedding. I don't want you there. If I travel out of state while on my period and my blood condition causes me to start hemorrhaging, and I happen to be in a state where women's health care is so strictly regulated that doctors feel like they can't interfere because any period-related bleeding could be a pregnancy and there's no interfering in that, and I bleed out and die because of the laws that are going to be left up to states' decisions, I don't want you at my funeral. If the Department of Education is defunded and my children can't go to school unless it's at a private institution that we cannot afford, and there's no way to get any assistance in affording this, I don't want you in my kids' lives. And that's just the beginning of it. So honestly, truly, if you voted for Trump, get out of my life.
I am genuinely curious, if you identify as a Latino and you voted for Trump, can you tell me what was the specific factor in that decision? And curious to know if you are first gen. And I don't want this to turn into a heated debate discussion in the comments. I'm from California, and I do live in my California bubble where everyone predominantly votes Democrat. And I'm just curious, like, I want to understand, like, I want to know, especially because this is my community and I want to understand.
If you're Latino and voted for Trump, here are some whitening product recommendations so you can be very white by the time he comes to office. Pond's Clarent Cream, very affordable and cute packaging, to be honest. Pond's is a household name in Latino culture, so you probably have this already. Bleaching cream that works for intimate areas. Not only your face can be white, also your coochie and your a-hole. So when we all get detained to be deported, you can tell them that every inch of your body is white. Vitamin C and retinol soap. So when you're in the shower, being delusional, thinking about all the promises that Trump made, you can keep dreaming and scrub away the color at the same time. All these are gonna work extremely fast, so make sure to have some sunscreen to protect your new skin. They will also help to hide the nopal en la cara que tienes. I promise you that they work, even though I have no idea if they work or not. You love believing in false promises, so this won't be an issue for you.
Because I've been thinking a lot about this, and I know it's going to be controversial, but I'm actually rooting for Latinas and Latinos who voted for Trump. I really am. I really hope that they get everything that they voted for, and I hope that they never forget who they voted for. So when they're waving goodbye to their undocumented partner because they got deported back, I want them to remember who they voted for. When their abuelita needs life-saving care, but there is no Medicaid because it's been slashed to the bone, I want them to remember who they voted for. When they watch their nieces and nephews struggle because birthright citizenship is gone and all of a sudden their family isn't welcome, I want them to remember who they voted for. When they have a child with special needs but there's no funding, no resources, no Department of Education, I want them to remember who they voted for. When all of a sudden their family's neighborhood is targeted with more policing instead of community support, I want them to remember who they voted for. When there's no money for your family but a whole bunch for billionaires, I want them to remember who they voted for. When environmental protections vanish and the air is so disgustingly polluted that their kids develop asthma or something similar, I want them to remember who they voted for. When discrimination increases and they are harassed incessantly because they will never be white, I want them to remember who they voted for. Call me petty, but sometimes getting exactly what you voted for is the only way to understand it.
Imagine my surprise when I learned that it was Latinos that put this man into office. I was 4 years old when I was first asked to stand before an immigration official and explain why I deserved to go to the United States. I was 4. I was 9 when a Border Patrol agent woke me up by shouting in my face so close I could feel his breath, pointing a flashlight in my face, asking me if I spoke English. I was 11 when SB 1070 first passed in Arizona, and I was terrified that I would be targeted or my loved ones would be targeted because we might look Hispanic. I was 13 when a shoddy immigration lawyer gave my family bad advice and permanently separated us. I was 15 when a boy from school was violently stalking and threatening me, and I couldn't go to the police because I was undocumented. I never even told my parents. They still don't know. I just moved schools. I was 18 when I decided I wanted to become an immigration attorney so that no family would ever have to go through something like this ever again. And for the last 8 years, I've worked in immigration, advocating for immigrant rights and fair and reasonable immigration law and policy. So imagine my surprise when I learned that it was Latinos that put this man into office. The community that I've been fighting for and the people that were supposed to be fighting alongside me would rather aspire to whiteness than to reform an organization that has been dehumanizing and villainizing and abusing our community for the last 30 years. I have no words today. I'm just rethinking my whole ass life. I hope that you are doing okay and making some space for your mental health. Mañana será otro día y la lucha sigue.
Here's a fact that's bringing me so much joy right now. So my father's Cuban, my mom's Mexican, her mom came to this country not necessarily legally. She voted, though, for Donald Trump. A lot of my extended family on my mom's side voted for Donald Trump. So here's the deal. If I'm getting deported, guess what? You're coming with me. It's what you wanted. We're going to drain the swamp together. We're going to give you exactly what you voted for. When the ICE officials come for me, guess who's getting ratted out? Congratulations, and I can't wait for the family reunion in Tijuana. Mi gente, mwah, love your faces. See you in hell.
60% of Latinos voted for Trump in this election. And to think that my vote was going towards protecting my people. The fact that I was absolutely horrified at the thought of Trump becoming president because of the effects that it will have on our people. I voted for those Latinos that don't have a voice in this country. For the Latinos that are the backbone of this country and don't receive shit. I voted for the Latinos that have been nothing but good people in this country, paying taxes and have no criminal records. Only to find out that it's our own people turning against us. I am truly disgusted.
To think that the top 3 people that delivered Trump his victory were white women, white men, which we all kind of expected, but Hispanic men, Latino men, like, I would have never in a million years expected that, especially when we think about our own history in this country. When we look at the deportation of millions of Mexicans in the 1930s with the Mexican repatriation, and a lot of them being Mexican Americans, knowing what happened to the braceros, the manual laborers who came to the U.S. to better the U.S.'s economy, the agriculture after World War II, how they were sanitized, and that influenced parts of the Holocaust. Just the historical racism, this amplified hatred towards our people, towards people that look like us, brown people. You would think that that would be enough to not allow your morality, to put someone in place that literally compromises the very existence of our people. A lot of those Latino men who voted for Trump knew what happened to their own community, a lot of which weren't immigrants, if we want to talk about how this is not about immigration, but illegal immigration. If they knew about those parts of history, I think they would stand against someone like Trump. But because we don't know that or care to know that, we are so much closer to that happening again, to history repeating itself again. And it is just so heartbreaking that the reason why it might happen again isn't because of these unhinged white people. It's because of our own people. Think about that for a second. Our own people are the reason why there will be so much pain and suffering among our community. Like, that is gross. I guess if there's a silver lining, amigos, is that I'm just feeling so motivated and hungry to educate our people on dark chapters in history that we aren't aware of, a lot of which I still might not be aware of, but we're going to learn as we go, because it's so important that we are aware of what happened, aware of what's happening, so that this does not happen in another 4 years, that our communities aren't constantly under threat and danger and anxiety and fear because our very own people aren't aware of the capabilities of electing someone who is anti-immigration and honestly anti-brown, anti-anything but white.
Okay, so let's talk about this. So as we have seen throughout this video, the reaction within the Latino community to the Latinos for Trump movement has been intense. Many are hurt, frustrated, and even willing to distance themselves from friends and family who supported Trump. Which raises an interesting question. How would they know if someone close to them voted for Trump? I mean, voting is supposed to be a private thing, right? But still, it's clear that the emotions run deep, and these differences are creating real tension within families and friendships. One thing is clear from the reactions in these clips, that people we've heard from are genuinely upset. Okay, so to them, it's not just about politics; it's personal. Yeah, this is personal. Okay, for many, it's hard to reconcile Trump's policies on immigration and deportation, which directly impact community, with the idea that other Latinos would still support Trump. And I'll be honest, I was surprised too. Yeah, like I was really, really surprised with all the things Trump has said and done that target Latino communities. I really didn't expect to see this level of support from Hispanic voters. Like really, I never saw that coming. Okay, but then I came across this article that offered some insight. It talked about why some Latinos might actually prefer Trump over candidates like Kamala Harris, and it made me think about the diversity of beliefs in our community. According to this article, a lot of Latino voters felt that Trump's policies aligned better with their values around family, children, and traditional roles. Many of them are protective of their kids and don't necessarily agree with policies around gender identity, such as trans rights in women's spaces. They may not support all the freedoms around issues like unaliving of unborn babies that Kamala Harris has backed. I found that really interesting, and I want to be open-minded here. These are some deeply held values for some Latinos. Those beliefs were strong enough to outweigh Trump's immigration policies, I guess. Yeah, so it's important to remember that our community is not a monolith. We are diverse and we come from many different backgrounds and beliefs. Okay, but now I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from you. Could those issues, family traditional values, and a resistance to progressive policies be why some Latinos supported Trump? Do you think that's a reasonable explanation, or do you think do you think that's a reasonable explanation, or do you see it differently? Let's talk about it down in the comment section down below, because I would love to hear your perspective. I want to know what you think about this entire video, these entire clips. And one last thing, remember that on this channel we want respectful, constructive conversations. We don't support bullying. We don't support any kinds of anything that will put our community, this YouTube channel, in contrary with what YouTube's policies suggest. Okay, we are part of the same community, the YouTube community. Even when we disagree, let's keep it peaceful. And if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you subscribe. I want to see you subscribing. I want to see you liking this video, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that every time I upload such videos, you'll be notified, guys. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay informed, stay peaceful, and I'll see you in my next video. Ciao.